Hi, I'm Sandra Colson, a member of Church of the Ascension in London, Canada, and I'm here with Diane Robinson, and we're going to have a bit of a discussion about faith and the pandemic. And so welcome, Diane, and
Hello.
and you're going to be part of this series of videos that we have with various members of the church speaking about this topic. So I wondered if, at least to begin with, whether you could share with us a time when your faith helped you through a tough situation outside of the pandemic.
Knowing that I would be a little nervous when I got on here, I hope folks don't mind if I do a bit of reading here. I wanted to tell Sandra, well, considering my response to the two questions, I wanted to begin by saying that faith and prayer are forever linked together, like day and night, two separate things, but part of the whole. My faith is built on my prayer life, and my prayer life is the steward of my faith. And each morning when I wake up, my first prayer is, Lord, my life is in your hands. And I don't hit the street until I've said that one. That makes me feel a whole lot better after I know I'm there. And it's built into a day-long conversation of prayer that takes me to my final words. And if any of you happen to read my little daily bedpost that I put on, this prayer is almost always in it at the end. And I say to God, watch over us tonight and always. And trusting in God in the tough places of life begins with prayer, which leads to faith that is built and grows with each prayer. And that's the beginning of my faith. And I want to know, have you ever wondered how you would respond to a diagnosis of cancer? One afternoon when I was home from work in mid-1990, I felt a rather large lump in a place that it shouldn't be. And I had a sort of one-sided prayer followed by 3 quick phone calls in the space of 30 minutes that sort of decided my life from there on in. I first called a friend who responded with the wisdom I needed, the answers that I was trying but not hearing when I prayed that one-sided prayer. And so this told me that faith was getting through. And the second call was to my mom. Now here, faith spoke loud and clear, because the first thing she said was, oh, Diane. And I said, oh, Mom, you got the wrong attitude. And I had no idea this was going to come out of my mouth. This just came out. I said, Mom, you've got the wrong idea. If anything, you should be jealous, because if worse comes to worse, I'll get to see Jesus before you do. And we both laughed, and that set the tone for the coming year when I dealt with breast cancer. And here I am many years later.
Yep.
The third call was to my doctor. And I you know, that's the beginning. That's when you have to admit that things are going to be tough, and you're going to experience things that you haven't experienced before. And faith is the foundation on which you build each day from there on in. I was confident I could handle any outcome at that point after calling the doctor, and because of my faith that had been under construction for many years. And Sandra, you have a second question for me?
Yeah, I did. I wanted to ask you about specifically about the pandemic and how your faith has helped you specifically through this period that we're all going through together.
Well, when the pandemic came along, the new opportunities to worship in different ways, the Zoom, the YouTube, the live stream, all of the things that we've come to, I have to say I've been into the Bible more this past year and a half than I ever have been in my whole life. I've heard more things, learned more things. All of this has strengthened my faith. And it's just made the closure of Ascension, such as it is, easier to help, although I sure miss a lot of things that we don't have anymore. I really miss sharing the peace. We all miss that tactile thing, even, you know, if we were a bit squeamish about it in the beginning. And I miss the Eucharist. It's great to see it on TV someplace else, but I want to share in it, and it just hasn't been the same since. But in spite of all that, my faith continues to grow. It's built on a foundation already solidly in place. And faith isn't built in a day. It's always under construction. It's moment by moment and prayer by prayer until, I guess, until finally we come face to face with the author of our faith.
I like the way you say that it's something that is under construction constantly, but as they're doing that it builds up, and and it's there to support you in these really difficult times when you've laid that foundation. That's a really neat way of thinking about it and looking at it. So thank you for sharing those thoughts with us, Diane, and I do appreciate you being part of this. This is, as I said, one of a series of these interviews we're doing with some of the church members, and there's some quite interesting responses. So I invite you to watch the series on our YouTube channel, and thank you for joining us.
Thank you.
God bless, Diane.
You too.